Okay, dear students, today we are going to start with multinational company. This is the topic for today. So let's start first to understand what is the meaning of multinational company. Okay, okay. Multinational company is an enterprise that carries on business operations in more than one country. Multi means more than one. Nation matlab other countries, right? The network of branches and subsidiaries is known as foreign affiliates. If we are trying to establish different branches and subsidiary units in the rest of the countries, or you can say in other countries, then these branches are known as foreign affiliates. The managerial headquarters are known as parent company, are located in one country, for example, home country is India, while the enterprise carries out its operations in a number of other countries like host countries. Say for example, in case of India, we are dealing in India, and you can say our managerial headquarter is located in our country, but its subsidiary units are developed, for example, or you can say established, for example, in USA, in Japan, and Russia. So these are known as host countries. Okay, now let's focus on what are the basic characteristics of multinational companies. Number one, large size. Multinational companies are large size in terms of their capital requirement. Large size means they are very, you can say, high productive capacity they require. Worldwide operations. So this is the characteristic of multinational companies, that their operations are expanded in worldwide areas. Centralized control. There is always a centralized control of multinational companies. Sophisticated technology. They always use sophisticated technology, or you can say the updated technology, or you can say the technology according to the modern time period. Professional management. They manage business professionally, or you can say they are very good enough in managing the things. International market. These are the units of international market. You can say they deal in international market. High brand equity. Their brand equity is very high. So let's focus on the different concepts related to MNC. First of all, MNC decisions are decentralized. Operates MNCs operate like a domestic company of the country and responds to the specific needs of each country's market. Global corporation, it produces in home country and markets products globally. Overseas operations are used to build a global scale, and overseas affiliates act as implementing agencies for decisions taken by the headquarters. What is TNC? Transnational company is the full form for TNC. They invest, produce, market, and operate across the world, seeks to achieve global competitiveness. Resources and decisions of all the units are decentralized, and these units act in an interdependent but integrated manner. Let's focus on what are the causes, or you can say the reasons for the growth of multinational companies. Number one, market expansion. As the companies are always wish to expand their business, so they require some suitable market for their expansion. So whenever we find suitable market for their expansion as per the need of the customer, as per the taste and preferences of the customer, then they decide to go for so the companies decide to cross their borders and to establish MNC units in the other countries. Marketing superiorities. When the companies have the marketing superiorities, then they get involved themselves in the marketing of the products and services. So some MNCs are there who are dealing only with the marketing, but they are not dealing with the production of the goods and services. Financial superiorities, because MNCs have do have no have no not any lack of funds, so financially they are very strong. So financial superiority is always there, so that can be a reason for the growth of MNC. If you are financially sound, then you can think to go for further expansion. Technological superiorities. MNCs have technological superiority. They are technically very efficient. They update their technology as per the requirement of the market scenario. So this is the advantage of the MNC. That's why the countries invite MNCs in their home country to establish the different branches and to get more and more benefit in terms of revenue, in terms of creating employment in the country, and you can say in terms of raising their standards of living, or you can say to provide the choice making option to the customers with regard to their purchases of goods and services. Let's focus on the advantages. Number one, benefits to the host country. What are the benefits to the host country? Like increased levels of investment. When some other company enters into our market, then they spend their money, so they make fresh investments. Employment, they provide jobs to the masses, so they create environment, so they create employment and income. So after getting job, the people have some handsome salary in their hands, so their income increases, and the government also have some earning in the form of revenue. Competition, they generates competition so that the domestic companies have a better opportunity to make improvement in their products, so that they can have a competitive environment to perform better and better. Export promotion, they actually um, promote export promotion. Growth of ancillary, and due to MNCs, there is always the growth of ancillary and service industries, and advanced technology is also imported in the country where MNC is established. Integration of economies, both economically and in cultural terms, etc. So when MNC is there, then there is always an integration of the economies, not only economically only, but also in cultural some terms. Culture means there is always a globalization. This is the result of globalization, so that's why there is always the transactions of not only goods and services, but also their attitudes, their culture, their tradition also, right? Number two category is the benefits to the home country, like increasing level of employment. No doubt, when the MNC is there, then there will be always the employment level high. Marketing throughout the world, then we can go for marketing our product throughout the world. Industrial activity, so it can industrial activities can be promoted more and more, and we can go further towards urbanization. Improved balance of payments position, because MNC is there, more and more earnings are there, government is getting revenue from them, and foreign goods and services transactions is there. That's why balance of payment position get improved. What are the disadvantages? Risks to the host country in terms of employment of capital intensive technique. What happens when an MNC, when a multinational company is established in host country, then in terms of employment, they always try to produce with the help of capital intensive technique. They avoid labor intensive technique because they are very rich in terms of technical know-how. So in this way, there is always the risk of employment of the masses. Employment of monopoly power, because they are very good enough in their technical know-how, in their management expertise, and they are taking the advantages of the resources of the host country. That's why they achieve monopoly position in the market. Setback for domestic country, sometimes they provide a setback for the domestic industry, because if they are performing better, then the more customer will be attracted towards their goods and services, and in this case the home business of the host country will be badly affected. Retarded employment growth, the employment growth can be retarded. There is always a risk of you can say always a risk of losing their job. Exploitation of natural resources, always MNC try to exploit natural resources of the host country. Unfavorable balance of payments, sometimes what happens that MNCs earn more and more, and they always try to transfer their funds from the host country to the home country, so there is um, the unfavorable balance of payment position. Risk to the etc. To risk to the home country, in terms of pressure of balance of payments in the home country, there is always a pressure on balance of payments. Loss of employment risk is always there. Retarded industrial and economic development, because competition is there. So in the home country, industrial rate becomes retarded, and there is always a lower rate of economic development, distortion of the culture. So culture are sometimes distorted, get gets distorted. So there are so many such kind of disadvantages are there when we moving towards adopting MNC culture. So such kind of problems we need to face. We have to face. Control over MNCs. How can we control MNCs? United Nations Code of Conduct. Respect the national sovereignty, and what is this UN's code of conduct? It respects the national sovereignty and human rights of host countries, adhere to their economic goals, development objectives, and socio-cultural values, not to interfere in internal political affairs and intergovernmental relations, not to engage in corrupt practices, apply good practices, and disclosure of relevant information to the governments of host countries. Number 2 is OECD, 35 member countries are there, that is code of conduct. Contribute to the S&T objectives of host countries, provide full information of tax purposes, consult with the employee representatives, consideration of BOP objectives of host nations, etc. So some MNCs in India are, these are the multinational and Indian affiliates. Bata Corporation, so Bata India, Cadbury, Cadbury India, Coca-Cola Corporation, Coca-Cola India, Pepsi Corporation, Pepsi India, Philips, Philips India, Sony Corporation, Sony India, Suzuki, Maruti Suzuki. So these are some MNCs, or you can say Indian affiliates of MNCs, right? So this was the part of MNC. So here we have discussed some basic concept of MNC, its strategies and its advantages, disadvantages, and few examples of Indian MNCs here. So in the next lecture we will start with the new topic. Till then,